فماذا تأمرون قالوا أرجه وأخاه وأرسل في المدائن حاشرين صدق الله العظيم. So from here in Surah Al-A'raf, now the incident of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam is mentioned. In most of the surahs of the Quran al-Kareem, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions some incident of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. There are from all of the Anbiya of the past, the most mentioned Nabi in the Quran al-Kareem is that of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. Because there are many reasons for this, which ulama mention. That Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, why is his incident mentioned so much? One of the reasons is that because the struggles that Musa alayhi salatu wasalam had, both from his own qawm, his own nation, his own people, and from the opposition as well. For example, Musa alayhi salatu wasalam over here, as we're going to see, he is being sent to Fir'aun to free the Banu Israel and his own people. So that's one opposition, Fir'aun and his Fir'aun and his people. Now once his people are free, he takes them, then he faces opposite from his own. The Banu Israel themselves then cause troubles and difficulties upon Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. So the sabr that can be taken, the lesson that can be taken from Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, the amount of sabr and patience and istiqamah and steadfastness that he showed in this path, there's much consolence in this. So وَقَالَ مُوسَى يَا فِرْعَوْنِ إِنِّي رَسُولٌ مِّن رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, he goes to the Pharaoh of the time. Some say it's Ramses II. It's whichever Pharaoh it was at the time. Fir'aun was a title. Fir'aun is not a name. Fir'aun is a title, as we know as Pharaoh. إِنِّي رَسُولٌ مِّن رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. That indeed I am a messenger, I am sent from the Lord of the world. Rabbil Alameen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one true Lord of all of the worlds. And he gives him da'wah and he tells him, haqiqun. And obviously when he tells this, there's an objection. He says that prove to me and that that you are the Rasul of Allah, and he rejects that, etc. So Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, he continues with his da'wah and he says, haqiqun ala alla aqula ala Allah illa al-haq. That it is unbecoming of me, or that I am obliged that I only say that which is truth about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And upon the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as a messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I am coming to you and I'm saying that I'm the Rasul of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Obviously what I will tell you is only the truth then, in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And on top of that, قَدْ جِئْتُكُمْ بِبَيِّنَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ. I have clear signs for this, for my claim towards prophethood, for my claim towards being a messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every Rasul, every Nabi who would be sent, they would be given a mu'jizah for their people to accept their nubuwah. So he says that I also have been given these proofs from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he delivers his message, that what is it that he has come for? فَأَرْسِلْ مَعِيَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيل. Send the Banu Israel to me. He is taking them back to Al-Ard al-Muqaddasa, towards what we know as present-day Palestine and that area. From the time of Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, from Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam till the time of Musa alayhi salam, there's almost 400 years. So they had what they call the Qibti, the Coptics. They had enslaved the Banu Israel and used to make them do these type of labor works and put them through hardship over there. So Musa alayhi salatu wasalam is coming to deliver the people of Banu Israel and taking them back to Al-Ard al-Muqaddasa. قال, Fir'aun says, إن كنت جئت بآية, if you have brought a sign from your Lord, فأتي بها, then bring the sign, show it to us. إن كنت من الصادقين, if you are truthful in this claim. So one of the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that every Nabi would be given a mu'jizah which would be befitting to the time and era and place. So for example, Nabi Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, at that time there was a lot of people were speaking about medicine a lot. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the mu'jizah to Isa alayhi salatu wasalam of curing the blind, the leper. These were amrad, and these were sicknesses at that time which they had no cure for. Or rather blindness from someone who was born blind. Even today, in all practicality, there's no cure for this. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave such mu'jizat. So at the time of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, sihr and magic and sorcery, that was the order of the day. People held sorcerers and magicians in high esteem. And they used to have these nowadays that they have games and competitions and sports, like that they used to have these competitions of magic, that whose magic is more powerful. So in magic what happens is that there's more play on the eyes. It's the way the magician, so to say, what he does is that's more trickery. They do things in such a way that a person may perceive something to be such, but it really doesn't turn out to be that. Then they use shayateen, jinnat, etc. for all of these things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave such a mu'jiza to Musa alayhi salatu wasalam of this, as it's going to be mentioned, of the staff, alqa asahu, that when he would cast the staff, when he would throw that staff, then not just magic, that it was just made it look like that a person sees something else. But the reality of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it such that this staff would turned into a serpent. فَأَلْقَى عَصَاهُ فَإِذَا هِيَ ثُعْبَانٌ مُبِينٌ. That when he threw his staff with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then it became a clear serpent. ثُعْبَانٌ مُبِينٌ. The word mubin means clear, meaning that it didn't just look like one. The way a magician would do it, because later or elsewhere in the Quran al-Kareem, later in the same surah, the incident will be mentioned that Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, he asked them that, okay, should I throw or will you throw? So then they threw their staffs first. So the staff or whatever they had, those looked as if they were moving, but they weren't really serpents. They weren't really snakes. But when Musa alayhi salatu wasalam throws it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala changes it into a snake. So فَأَلْقَى عَصَاهُ فَإِذَا هِيَ ثُعْبَانٌ مُبِينٌ. He sees this, that it's an actual serpent. وَنَزَعَ يَدَهُ. And then another mu'jiza of Musa alayhi salam is that when he would remove his hand from under it, then it would be clear, it would be shining. It would be shining. Musa alayhi salam, his color was brown, as it comes in the hadith, that Musa alayhi salam, لونه Adam, the word Adam comes from udma, yani the color of soil, of dirt. So he was brown in complexion. So when he would remove his hand, it would be sparkling white, shining white, like radiance, like how you see it. The light is like that. So وَنَزَعَ يَدَهُ فَإِذَا هِيَ بَيْضَاءُ لِلنَّاظِرِينَ. It would be shining white, yani, with nur, لِلنَّاظِرِينَ, for those who could see, those that were looking. قال الملأ من قوم فرعون. The courtiers, those that are around Fir'aun, they looked at this and these mu'jizat. Now rather than when they see this mu'jizat, and the other sahirin, when the competition, so to say, when they are called for, Musa alayhi salam is called, when the sahirin, when the magicians, they see it because they know the reality. They know what they do is magic and they can see the difference. They can tell the difference. When they saw it, what did they say? آمَنَّا بِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Immediately they said, we believe in the Lord of all worlds. However, these courtiers, the viziers, etc., when they see what's going on, and they would also know that this is a mu'jiza, they, not to lose their position by Fir'aun, they say that this is just another sahir. He's another magician. إِنَّ هَذَا لَسَاحِرٌ. But they say alim, he's a very good one. He's a very knowledgeable magician. إِنَّ هَذَا لَسَاحِرٌ عَلِيمٌ. And then propaganda. Whenever haqq becomes evident, then batil and falsehood has nothing but propaganda left after that, right? يُرِيدُ أَن يُخْرِجَكُم مِّنْ أَرْضِكُم. And then what kind of propaganda? Such a propaganda that you use what is close to a person, to a people. What will incite them? Sensationalism. What makes it? What touches upon their senses, their hearts? So he said that, you know why he's here? يُرِيدُ أَن يُخْرِجَكُم مِّنْ أَرْضِكُم. He wants to expel you from your land. So then this becomes a part of xenophobia. So now that's that's a propaganda. يريد أن يخرجكم من أرضكم. He wants to remove you from your land. That they are the foreigners, they come from here. Now they're coming here to take over your land. All of these things, again, history repeats it again and again and again and again. فَمَاذَا تَأْمُرُونَ. So he asked, okay, what should I do? What's your opinion? What should we do in this? They say, قَالُوا أَرْجِهْ وَأَخَاهُ. Give it some time. This is a very important thing. Give it some respite, some time. Him and his brother, Yani Harun alayhi salam. Let's think about it. وَأَرْسِلْ فِي الْمَدَائِنِ حَاشِرِينَ. And send people into the cities, and they will bring all of these other magicians. And then after that, they say that we will have a big competition and see which one is which magician is better. And then those are the ayat that will come thereafter. Make dua that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us the understanding of the Quran al-Kareem.